to use. So you're only going to be interested in this if you're in the Samsung ecosystem. You have a Galaxy 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a Note 3 I'm using it with. Then it pairs very easily. Samsung offers a special app to use with the Gear 2. So you'll install that first. It uses Bluetooth. I think it's probably Bluetooth LE because you get pretty good battery life. I could have gone a couple of 3 days. But what I always do is I always charge it. Now, a couple of things to talk about. First of all, they don't yet have a way to just plug the watch in. That's probably to save space on the watch. You still have to have, although much improved, this little tiny charger, and that uses a micro USB connector. So you just snap this on the back of the watch. And you know, you're going to get used to, on any of these watches, just charging it every night. The Pebble will go all week, so you can forget it. But the problem with something that goes all week is you forget it. And if you do it every night, then you do it every night. These are customizable faces. Here, let me turn it this way so you can see a little bit closer. This is a face I particularly like. It looks like a wristwatch. To save battery, this is a very, by the way, very high quality.
I was going to say, that looks like a very high
nice
definition
screen. Notice it goes off to save battery life, but when you lift the watch to look at what time it is, it automatically turns back on. So you don't get the sense that the watch is off all the time. It is a touch screen. They've really improved this in many ways. It's a touch screen that has a huge variety of choices. This is both a notification watch like the Pebble and a health watch. It has a pedometer, but you have to start the pedometer to use it. It has exercise. You can do other exercises and keep track of those as you're going. It doesn't have a GPS, but it will tie to the GPS in the phone. It will monitor your heart rate. It has a little kind of camera-like sensor on the back. But as with most watch-based heart rate monitors, it doesn't work when you're exercising very well. It's really for sitting down and checking your heart rate. You also have, and this is great, there's a speaker on here and a microphone. So you can talk to this watch. I'll show you that in a minute. Record a voice memo. Notice this, it works with your television. It has a remote control on your television. Oops, let's not use that yet. The Find My Device is great. If I've lost my phone, I can find my device and the phone will start making noise, and vice versa, by the way. I can use the Gear app on my phone to say, where's my watch? I can't find it. That's a nice feature. In fact, this is loaded with nice features. I can read notifications. So when a text message comes in, I can go into my messages and I can say, oh, I got a message from Lisa. Guess what? I sent this from my treadmill, says Lisa. You know, that was a response because I said, guess what? I sent this from my watch. Because, watch this, I've set up the button so that when I double press it, it goes into the text mode, the speech mode. Text Chad Johnson. Hey Chad, I'm talking to you from my watch. Woohoo! You can't really hear the voice very well, but it's kind of a robotic female voice. Let me put it up to the microphone.
I think that's going to be a long text.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It's going to be a really long text.
Here is your message.
Did you hear? It's kind of robotic. Yes.
Woohoo! You can't really hear the voice.
Yeah. But notice it did a really good job.
That is actually really well.
And the watch is distant from me, right?
Yeah, you didn't have to speak too robotically to catch that last part of the sentence.
It is connected via Bluetooth to the phone. So if the phone is not near the watch continues to work, but it won't send this message until it's connected to the phone. Because remember, it's really about using the watch and the phone. They have improved the camera on this. The camera no longer is the pimple on the strap that it used to be. By the way, the strap also looks a little bit better than the previous straps. It comes in a variety of colors. There's the camera right here. So if I go into the camera app, actually, let's do that real quickly. You'll see the touch is, by the way, not super responsive, but okay. You'll see that it's taking a picture from this part of the camera right here. In fact, I have some sample pictures. I took this zip lining. This is a perfect example of why you'd want to use this camera. When you're zip lining, you can't really carry a camera. You're strapped in and so forth. So, not the greatest camera in the world. You see the colors are a little bit washed out. This is bright sunlight, but it worked all right. I mean, there's a sunset.
Oh, wow. That's
I mean, it's not, look, it's a camera on your wrist. It's very discreet. It's not super perfect. But you can do a lot of, you know, I mean, you can take pictures. You can even take pictures by saying, take a picture, and take videos by saying, shoot a video, record a video. So it's nice. It has the voice commands built into it.
Do you have to wake it up before you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do. And you know, it's a little sluggish and so forth. You know, you saw that I had to kind of swipe it a little extra carefully to get the swipe. I've always had trouble with these kinds of wristbands, but you know, you'll get used to it. And one good thing about it, it's very secure, and it's not too horribly big. I mean, it looks roughly like the Pebble Watch does on your wrist. I think if you are already in the Samsung ecosystem, I'm not a big fan of the Fit because it doesn't do a lot of these things. The Gear 2 kind of does it all in a fairly attractive, I mean, I don't feel too dorky when I'm wearing this, package. I do love, you know, how convenient it is, and all the things that you can do with your Pebble,
Right.
you can do with this. In fact, the only thing it doesn't do is that long battery life. In every other respect, it's as functional as a Pebble. You can program a huge number of different watch faces, and you can even download third-party watch faces, so you're never stuck with any particular look. I can change the background. I can even make the background be a picture that I've taken. There are a lot of clock faces. You notice I'm using the analog clock, but the digital clock is much more flexible, including a dual clock if you're in dual time zones, a clock that has calendar, your pedometer measurements, the weather, and so forth. So I think that's pretty nice. And like I said, there's an app store, and you can download more stuff. Let's go back to the Galaxy, I'm sorry, not Galaxy. I knew I'd call it the Galaxy. They've taken the name out. It's no longer Galaxy, it's just the Gear. Go back to the Gear Manager and see the broad variety of apps that are available on it. These are the apps that are installed, but you can install more. It's a very sophisticated watch. This is the Tizen, by the way, operating system. This is not Android or Android Wear. I'll just show you some of the additional clock faces you can install. I mean, you have a handful on the Pebble.
Well, now it, like when you had it, they hadn't come out with the newest
But there are
version.
more, right?
There's a ton now.
Okay. All right, but are there...
And the apps is what I found is to be the most compelling thing because, like, I can check in via Foursquare.
Watch faces, 85. Oh,
Do you want to compare watch faces?
Oh, you can check in. You can check in via. Let's see what social networking I
does
can
it have
do
that?
here.
And then Music Boss
No.
is one of my favorites.
You can play music on this. It does have a little bit of memory. You can only take 50 images.
Right.
Mostly, it's going to be pulling from
You can't
the phone.
play music off the Pebble, but you can control your device,
right.
which is one of my
So
favorite
a Pac-Man game, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it.
Does it have Flappy Bird?
It has Dummy Fish, which is much like
there we
Flappy
go.
Bird. But no Flappy Bird yet, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. There's new stuff coming out all the time. And even some productivity stuff. Some of the people in the chat room say they use Evernote on their Gear. Certainly a lot of health and fitness apps. I find this great. I mean, the fact that they have, they've got an app store and it has so many things in it is a testament to the fact that this is a second generation. And given that it's a second generation, I have to say, it's a lot of refinement has gone into this watch. So let's go with the pros and cons. The pros, it's a good-looking screen with a great watch face, functional, battery life, pretty decent. The fact that it has a camera on it and a decent camera, voice, it will read you texts as well as let you dictate texts, a pedometer, a lot of the health things, and a very robust app store. These are all positives. It even looks okay given that it's, you know, a smartwatch. The negative, really the biggest negatives are it's $300. That's pretty expensive, is among the most expensive smartwatches out there. And it requires a Galaxy phone. You have to be in the Samsung ecosystem to use it. But given all that, I have to say it's pretty good. I hate to give it a buy because I feel like this is a product in its infancy, but comparing
You
it
can
to
find out more about this fantastic offer by clicking the link in the description.